It's Frenchie, you know what I'm talking about, it, RDMENT, all the shit. We rocking with Hip Hop Seattle, you know what I'm talking about, tune in.
This is Jay Park, AMG High Music. Want to give a big shout out to Hip Hop Seattle, man. Let's get it.
And shout out Hip Hop Seattle. You guys already know they got everything popping in Seattle. Tap in.
And I ain't gotta say my name, bitches respect that shit. So fly, you ain't never seen a jet like this. And I've been working OT, overtime, baby. I can't keep talking unless there's money on the line, baby. These bitches mad and I ain't even hit my prime, baby. Better double up if you trying to get my time, baby.
Welcome back. This is the Hip Hop Seattle podcast. We on episode 8. It's your boy Cal Nadi.
It's your boy Mr. High Definition, Henry 100K.
It's Drea Lil Honey Dippin'.
And it's your girl Camryn Chanel.
Welcome to the show, Camryn Chanel.
Thank you so much.
Hey, go her.
Thank you.
Looking forward to this one.
So what's up? What you been on today?
Well, my car died, so I had to get a jump,
Damn.
which is part of the reason why I was late. But I haven't really been doing too much. Just chilling. It's Saturday. No work, no school, so just chilling.
Okay, that's tough.
That's
Not
what's
doing
up.
too much.
Hit with that traffic or nah?
Man.
Gotta ask. Seattle.
Man.
Hella
Like, what
bad.
region are you in?
I'm
I
in
love
Fed.
hearing
I
these
live in
stories.
Fed.
Okay, me
I'm,
too.
I'm
So I
from,
took
yeah.
that drive.
Yeah, so you know
I
that
took
drive.
the
Yeah,
drive.
so I came from Fed, and it was,
Damn.
yeah, it was a wow.
It's an hour and 10 minutes to be exact.
Without traffic.
Without traffic.
If you have a second person, you take that HOV straight a little bit, but
Swerve in and
don't
out.
be by
feel me?
yourself.
Couple miles in the Hove lane, solo. I didn't say
No,
that.
they're
I'm
cracking
joking.
people for
Just
that.
making
Did you
Are
see
they
that on the
watching?
news?
Yeah, I heard
People
about that
have,
actually.
like, fake babies, wigs on, I don't know, like
What?
cardboard.
I've seen that before. I've considered
Mannequin?
it too.
Yeah.
With the mannequin in the front seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blow up doll.
Too
If you're
true.
really in a rush to get somewhere at that point. You gotta be there.
Music current day. How important is the lyrics to people? Does it really matter to you if the artist is blowing your mind or if it's just about the vibe, just about the groove? What y'all think?
Off the rip, Cameron, what do you think about that?
I automatically think the lyrics is what gets me just because I'm a lyricist. You know, it's cool to have the music that sounds good and the music that's popping in the clubs, but I'm one of those people who actually listen for lyrics and listen for people who have cadence and who can actually spit. There's a lot of people nowadays that are just rapping and not enough MCs and people that are up there actually giving you, you know, something more, giving you
Story.
something in depth. So
Substance.
I
So
definitely
you-
listen for that.
So you say MCs. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
What is an MC in 2019 look like? What does it look like now?
Honestly, there's not too many of them. There's a lot of people who are, you know, the wave rappers. That's what I call them, the wave rappers. They follow the waves, they follow the trends, and they do what everyone else is doing. If we're talking lyricists, of course, we got to shout out Nipsey Hussle. I fuck with Lady London. I don't know if you guys know of her, but she's like she's just starting to kind of bubble in the rap scene, but she's been doing poetry for a long time.
Okay.
But
dope.
she's from New York, so she's super popping on Instagram. I fuck with her lyrically. J. Cole.
J. Cole.
Who else? Of course, we got like the greats, Jay-Z, Nas, Eminem. And as far as that goes, I think that's about it. I don't really think that there's too many female. We got to shout out Nicki just because she's Nicki.
What about Cardi B?
Cardi B's not a lyricist.
Yeah.
And I love Cardi B, but
I
she's
love
not a
her too,
lyricist.
but
She's not a lyricist.
Writing all them raps
And
either.
you can't you can't be a lyricist if you don't write your raps. So
Okay, so what about like locally? Like
I definitely fuck with Laza.
Okay.
Who else? Lyrically, Frenchie Oso. I know you guys had him on the show. Mafi D.
100%.
Shout out.
Who else? Street Ball Soup.
Street Ball.
Mike Jack is on the come up.
Yeah.
And then we got like our singers like Ellis is going crazy right now.
for
Elvis
sure.
Prescott,
If
okay.
he just, I told him earlier,
Yeah.
like if he just get his moves down, he's a triple threat. Like,
Yeah.
doot, doot.
I've
He
been
gonna
trying to
be out
teach him how
here.
to get it. We was on tour together last year, and I'm like, "Ew, man, you gotta,
chill. He's
you gotta
hilarious.
come on." But nah, I think that Seattle music scene in general is just popping right now. I think that we're gonna be the next state to bubble, just off the simple fact that everyone in here is going a different way. Everyone's doesn't rap alike. Everybody doesn't have the same sound. Everybody doesn't have the same energy. And I think everybody's just unique in their own way. So that's gonna be the reason why we bubble as a city and as a unit.
Completely agree.
It's rare to hear that, like, for myself, to hear people say that it's unity, just because there's a lot of the ripping apart that comes along with it.
Yeah.
But that's good to hear.
We need that energy.
For sure. Like, haven't had anybody talk about the positive about that being something that can happen or that has happened.
I mean, I just say because I've been rapping seriously since I was 14. I just turned 23. So when I first started rapping, just seeing the transformation of Seattle hip hop and Seattle hip hop culture from then to now, it blows my mind, because a lot of people are going to say that it's not really doing nothing and everybody's fend for themselves, but they haven't seen the transition. When I started rapping, it was like me and a handful of other people. Like, I can literally name them on one hand. How many people were really rapping and were known and were like pushing their music and pushing their product and marketing themselves. Now, everyone's rapping. And that's not to say everyone's the best, but everyone's putting something out. So it's putting a lot more attention on us than there was before. So I'm always happy to see that.
Okay. That's amazing to hear that from an artist sitting in the chair, man. That's amazing. I got to give a... She knows what it is. She's a real MC. You can really tell she's passionate. It's very great to see that shit. We got to continue the culture, man. This is what hip-hop is. You feel me? This is what it really is. So, shout out to you for that.
Thank you.
We got to talk about trash rappers. Yeah, we got to do it, man, because we do... Up at Hip Hop Seattle, man, we like to glorify and really support artists around. But we also got to talk about, and we're not just talking about just Seattle when I talk about trash rap. I'm talking about just in the grand scope of things. But we got to talk about the trash guys that are bringing they're not bringing shit to the game. Maybe I don't know. You got little disruptions here and there, little trends and stuff like that, which is fine. You got to get your money, and we support any young nigga on the grind trying to get their shit. But at the end of the day, if you are in the culture and you're not even really trying to you're bringing all this bullshit into it, and you're looking at a lot of artists that are like sacrificing everything for it. It's like, if you're coming in the game and you don't really have any fucking plan and you're just here to just bullshit, I feel like we got to talk about that right now, because we got a lot of artists adding to it, but who's subtracting and like fucking the game up? We got to talk about some trash rappers, man.
I mean,
it's a little too controversial, but this is hip hop Seattle.
Just like you said, now there's more people making music, more people putting things out. There's a wider audience, and when you have more people doing things, you're gonna have people diluting it as well.
Right.
People putting out music that they don't really care about, that they haven't really put that much thought in, and then they want to try to compare with you, whereas you spend all your time, all your feeling, all your emotion on your music. And so when people come and say they're an artist at that same level, it's kind of hard to respect them, and it's kind of hard to even give the music a chance, because you see the videos they're putting out and you hear the music they're putting out, and you can tell they don't. For me, I have no issue about what the content of the music is, as long as I can tell you actually, like,
right,
this is you. This is not like, oh, you out here for 15 minutes and you can go home and you go by Rob in the streets and you're Rupert at home, you know. I'm calling you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Rupert. How you get Rupert and Rob?
I don't know, some weird situations out here.
Oh.
Well, I mean, my rap name had nothing to do with my actual name, so might be a little incognito going on there.
What's your real name?
We can't say that. That's non-disclosed.
Well, we got rappers coming in the game. I'm sorry not to cut you. I'm just gonna add one more thing. Okay. Well, we got artists coming in the game also just trying to grab a bunch of money, thinking they can just pick up a mic and just get money off of this stuff. It's not like that. There's no other career that you can just hop in real quick, get some money, and leave. When you got you can't just hop in the league, and you got these people that have been playing since elementary, middle school, and all that. And then you think that you can just compete with them on their level, on their court. It doesn't work like that.
I disagree with you, though. I disagree.
Yeah, I do too.
Because people make sure. If I made a little something, and that was all I needed, and I'll be good, and I'm not, and I need to just hop out and hop into something else bigger and better, then that's what I'm gonna do. I can do that. I think it's so fluctuated to where it's like you're able to hop in and out of it. You're able to be 2006 popping and then come back out 2016
so we're
popping.
cool with like Miley just hopping in real quick, grabbing a bag and leaving.
A lot of people are
taking our culture.
I feel like it has a lot to do with the labels. Honestly, I feel like there's a difference between, like I said, being an MC, being a lyricist, and being a rapper. There's people who are like Cardi B, City Girls, Saweetie. Like, these are people who are popping because they make popping music. They make catchy music. They make stuff that people want to listen to. But then you put them up against someone like Lady London, and nobody's going to want to listen to them. Even though the substance is there, they're not going to want to listen to that because that's just not what people want to hear right now. Right. And so I feel like it's up to the lyricists, like, and this might be a little shallow, but it's up to us to give people music that they want to hear. Like, there's people who, like Nipsey Hussle speaking hella intellectual shit in his songs, but he's still making them so that people relate to him and people, you know, can drive in the car, party in the club, or do whatever to him. But it's just like, you have to appease the crowd. You have to appease your fan base, or else people aren't going to listen to you. And that's another part of being an entertainer, is learning how to entertain. You can't just expect to be able to write. Anybody can write, but it's the way that you present the material. And a lot of people don't have the ability to present it in a way that people want to receive it. So it's just like, you can't blame nobody but yourself.
So the culture. So when you look at it like this, okay. So are we cool with that in the hip hop culture? For people feel like to do that to us, and it doesn't happen anywhere else. Really?
I feel like it's not something that we're allowing, but I feel like you got to look at the labels. Who's the people that's giving the money? These are white people. White people are only going to invest their money into something that they believe in, something that they feel is going to pop, something that they feel is going to, you know, give them more money.
White people or everybody in the industry.
Exactly what I was saying earlier.
Anybody in the industry. They're only going to support what they feel like is going to bring them in more revenue. If you're not if they don't feel like you're something that's going to sell, they're not going to be able to do nothing with you. You could be the dopest person in the room, and just because they know that you're not marketable.
So us artists have just become desensitized. I'm not saying you, I'm saying it's in general for the hip hop culture. We've become desensitized where somebody, because if we're letting the artist pass, okay, whatever, great. But that just opens the floodgates for the executives and people to come in and exploit it and take somebody that has a dream to really, an aspiring dream to become a recording artist, and you're now putting them in situations that they have no idea about and exploiting them. And then not only that, you're taking the worst parts of them, things that they're trying to grow from, and you're profiting from that. So you have a drug addiction? Okay, cool. We're going to make you promote nothing but drugs, and we're going to put you further into this shit, and you have to do this because you're in this deal.
So what's your question?
My question is, we're allowing this, that's what's forming these trash rappers, because you're taking somebody that's not, because this is what the industry does. You'll take somebody that has no experience with music.
They just care
because
about
they got
the
bag.
Look. They don't care about who, they just want that money. They don't care.
That's not what I'm saying. We're okay with this? You're okay with this?
At a personal level, for me, at a personal level, it's just kind of like understanding that, like, while I'm alive, there's somebody in the world dying. It's like something that I don't agree with, but I can't really change. People have been getting exploited by labels since the beginning of music, commercial music.
Damn.
We can change this shit, bro. What are you talking about with this one? I gotta disagree on that one.
Well, you're talking about people. You're talking about the artists that choose to agree to get invested in by these big artists. Now, whatever happens in their life, whatever reason they need this money or these issues for, they're in a situation where now that's just the situation. Now, you can't really, at the end of the day, you can't be mad because you signed a contract. Like, you sold out to be in the situation that you are, and you're going to have to deal with those consequences. Okay. So artists that are kind of like, you said, putting out music that they don't support, if it's about drug addiction and maybe they're fighting their own drug addiction, they don't want to support that. It's kind of like, well, now in your situation where you don't have that option. You're basically a slave when you agree to these contracts.
So moving forward, you don't think that we can change it. So what if every artist stood like Macklemore,
don't get signed to these people that are gonna exploit you.
Just gotta go independent.
Yeah, just go independent and get a fan base that fucks with you, that wants to see you in a situation.
And I feel like that's what most artists are doing these days because they see what the labels feed off of. Most people are just signing for a distribution deal now, or just signing to get their name up in the air. A lot of people don't even sign actual deals with record labels anymore. They sign partnerships with them. They build their own record label, they sign a partnership, and that way they're getting their brand across. But 9 times out of 10, nobody these days is signing with these major artists like they were back in the day, because they know what it is. Everybody's gonna take your money. They're gonna give you all this money, make you look flashy, make you look like who they want you to be, and then as soon as you get to the top, they're taking everything from you, because you got to pay everybody. You got to pay your managers. You got to pay your executive producers. You got to pay your producers. You got to pay for promotion. You have to pay for tours. Like, literally, artists who are signing deals, they're only getting paid off of tours. And then you're only getting a percentage of that, because then you have to pay everybody else that helped with the tour. So it's kind of just like, as an artist, you can't even really be mad that this is what it is, because the world revolves around money, and people are going to buy what's going to sell. And it's just like, you gotta kind of figure out the game and manipulate it to where it benefits you. as an artist. If you see someone's doing this, then hey, okay, let me take some of this and what this person is doing and kind of make your own formula to get to yourself to the top. But you can't be mad that somebody else is eating.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just the way that it happens. It's a circle of life, just like in any other type of business. Even with basketball, if somebody's better than you, they can be better than you. But if they're working harder than you to get seen, they're the ones that's gonna get seen. So it's kind of just like when you see somebody else getting on and you don't feel like they deserve it. It's kind of for you to like sit back and be like, okay, so what am I doing to not be where they're at? And you gotta kind of put your pride to the side sometimes and just check yourself and see what you need to do to get to that level that you want to be on.
I agree with everything you just said. Moving forward, back to the question we have here with the whack rappers or the trash rappers. So there's none?
No, there's definitely trash rappers as far as lyrics, but you can't really say that someone's a trash rapper because someone in the world loves them. Somebody's in the world's buying a record.
Should we dead that? Are we gonna dead that here? Are we? What if we can say trash rapper? What do we even?
It's not subjective.
It's subjective. Okay.
Say trash. You can say low quality. You know, you can call out a low quality artist.
Right.
Somebody's like a meme artist that don't really care about what they do. But
is there any of those in the industry right now? Clearly, to y'all.
All I know is when people present me their music in real life, and to me, I let them know, like, this don't sound right. You need to like, and I do it as constructive criticism, not as like you're not shit or to belittle anybody. It's just to help you, because if nobody's keeping it real with you, then you just gonna have that trash.
I feel like we can move forward though. That's my whole point with this. I agree with everything you're just saying because it makes hella sense to me. I'm just saying that this is something that can be changed though. If artists all have what you just said, they're like-minded like that, and we all were to do that, it's just that there's a lot of artists that are just not doing that because they're choosing the money and they're not choosing the actual like passion for the music.
Facts.
If you're choosing the money, that's going to lead you down a whole rabbit hole of a bunch of other shit that you're going to end up doing just because you want more money. When you're looking at the culture and you just look to better yourself and your people, whatever, just like a Nipsey Hussle and all that, you can absolutely change the culture and move forward with it. Look what Nipsey did. You feel me? So that's I want to dead that, because I feel like if artists were to really have that mindset, and if we can educate people and artists are actually moving like that, like, and telling people like, yo, this is what you should be doing, bro, we can absolutely move forward, bro. It all starts with one person, and it goes from there, bro. We can't be talking like this when we have people like Martin Luther King and all that existed. It's just one person like, yo, bro, we can actually change this. So it can absolutely happen with hip-hop because it was changed. Hip-hop is now the #1 consumed music in the world. It used to be laughed at. You feel me? You used to get laughed out the building for doing hip-hop.
Say, turn that shit down.
Exactly. Now now the pop stars got to come and make music with us. You feel me? We are the culture, because hip-hop is deeply rooted through a bunch of other shit that black people created. Bro, when we got the hip-hop shit, this is #1, bro. That's why fucking Billy Ray Cyrus is doing songs like that in that cadence over trap beats and shit. They love our shit. We can change the game when we want to, bro, because we created this shit. The fuck is going on? That's all I'm saying, though. But I agree. Do you guys see where I'm coming from on this?
Yeah, it's all about
am I in Mars right now? Like,
yeah, because if you have more people hands in, then you can, all the monuments that humans made in history were made because a lot of people were hands on and did that shit together. So that's proof that if we're more about cooperating, less about being combative, then we can definitely get shit popping.
I just think that when it comes to that, like, I'm one of those people that I always say I'm the best, and there's not really too many people that can tell me that I'm not. And I'm the type of person that if somebody does try to tell me that I'm not, I'm like, okay, let's battle. Like,
exactly.
I don't have a problem with that. I've never felt like, offended by people, coming at me with like, okay, well, I think I'm better than you. Like, it's a competition for me, and that kind of shit kind of gives me like a little bit of adrenaline, and it gives me a little bit of a rush.
Exactly.
Just because I like attention, I like to prove myself. I'm an entertainer, so I like to be seen, I like to be heard, and I like to prove myself. So it's like, I want somebody to challenge me. I want somebody to, kind of give me a little run for my money, because especially like, I'm a female. There's not too many female rappers in Seattle. And so when it comes down to the female rappers, none of them ever really want to say anything to me. It's kind of like I'm a hierarchy. And so nobody ever really wants to like say anything to me. And it's not even as far as like just battling or just like, but a lot of females don't even want to make music with me. A lot of people are like very, very intimidated.
It's your demeanor, how you carry yourself. Confidence.
I'm just like, I'm cool.
Like you're missing out.
But it's not even just females. It's even dudes too. Like sometimes dudes, like it's to the point where I'll get on a song with a dude and then I'll spit my verse and he'll go back and rewrite this verse and do it again. And I'm like,
you didn't think you were gonna come that hard?
A lot of the times that's what it is. And because I'm so small, so when people only know me off of social media and they never see me in person, you know, they'll invite me to a studio session. They'll think it's for play, and then I'll come and like I call myself one take Cam. I'm known for just going in the studio, recording, and getting out. I do most of my verses in one take. So when I come out the studio, 9 times out of 10, everybody's mouth is like,
"That's what's up."
She did that,
and I'm like, it's regular, like, you know, like it's not a cocky it's not a cocky thing on me, but it's just kind of like I've been doing it for so long and I know that I'm good. There's nobody that can tell me that I'm not, as far as lyrics, as far as entertaining, as far as business, as far as being able to, I know how to, you know, like I know how to record, I know how to engineer myself, I know how to do a lot of things, so it's like not too much that I can't do. And I'm one of those people that I'm always willing to learn. So it's like, if there's something that I don't know that you can teach me, please teach me.
There we go.
But you can't say that you're better than me if you're not, because then I'm going to challenge you, and then we're going to really, you know, have to see. But I think it's just a confidence thing. I think a lot of people lack the confidence, and they forget that, like you said, this is a competition. Hip hop is very, very competitive. It started competitive. Exactly. And it's like, you can't be scared to jump in the water if you keep sticking your toe in. Like, sooner or later, you're going to get pulled in.
Yo, that's some real ass shit. Are we aired right? Are we rolling right now? Yeah, that's some fire shit. I appreciate you, yo. This is some dope shit right now. Are y'all appreciating this right now?
Yeah.
She's really in tune and really passionate. I can just tell. You don't even have to, like, just meeting you for the first time. Very impressed. That's dope. So, how should we move forward with this now?
We wanted to know why do you think it's so hard for people in the same city, in the same state that you live in, to support you? Why do you think?
Honestly, so in the beginning, it wasn't hard for them to. Well, okay, let me go back. When I initially started rapping, it was I was so I started rapping at 7, but I started recording when I was 14. And when I started recording, I was trying to like push my music throughout my high school. I went to Garfield High School, so I tried to push my music throughout my high school, and I feel like I said, at that time, there was just not a lot of hip-hop culture here. So it's kind of hard for people to take it seriously. But once I got, like, the ball rolling, and maybe I think when I hit, like, 17, 18, I had moved out of state. And so I started posting videos on Facebook, and my videos started going viral. And so when I came back home, everybody was kind of like, oh my gosh, like your videos are going viral. Now I'm going to listen to your music type thing. So from then on, everyone just supported me. And I honestly think it was just because I had a lot of hype. Like, I would drop a video and get like 100,000 views in like 2 hours. And this is strictly Facebook. I would drop a song on SoundCloud and get 10,000 plays in a week. So it's kind of like, it just kind of became like the hype. Like, I was the one that was popping. I was the only one that was really rapping. So I was the only one that people had to listen to in my generation. I feel like now it's harder because there's so many people. And everybody's not as tuned in with everybody anymore. There's so many people dropping like such great quality music. And especially for me, because I haven't been dropping as much. I just went on tour last year. I came home. I kind of had to get back in the swing of things. And I'm just now I'm about to drop my project. So that being said, I feel like it's easy to get lost. I feel like it's like, if you're not consistent, it's hard for you to be noticed. Like, if you have to drop consistently here, or people are going to forget about you. And you have to consistently drop quality work, or people are going to forget about you, and people aren't going to talk about you, because it's hard already to be, you know, in the mouth of other Seattleites as far as music goes. So once you're in the mouth, it's hard to stay in the mouth. But once you're there, it's kind of like you just got to keep pushing, keep the ball rolling. I feel like Seattle is crabs in a bucket, and everyone wants to get on, but nobody wants anyone else to get on. It's like, we want to see you do good, but we don't want to see you do better than us.
Yep.
And that's just kind of always been the facade for Seattle. It's kind of always been the culture. Like, it's kind of just like, it's not like Cali or Atlanta or, you know, states like that where they have, you know, they have unity, and they're pushing each other because they know, okay, if I push you, then you gonna put me on, and so on and so forth. But in Seattle, it's not like that. It's kind of just like, I want to eat and I want everything to myself. And I feel like I kind of have fallen into that mentality because it's kind of just like, if you don't support me, why would I support you? Why would I put you on? If you ain't putting me on, if you ain't trying to, it'll be something simple as somebody telling you, you know, a good engineer. Nobody wants to put you on with their engineer. Facts. Nobody wants to put you on with their producer. Nobody wants to put you on with their graphic designer. It's just like, okay, so now I got my own and don't ask me for nothing. Yeah. And it's kind of fucked up, but that's just how it is.
That's how it has to be. You really have to set those boundaries, especially being a female in the industry at all, because you get like put in these positions all the time. It doesn't matter who it is. You get put in positions whether it's like they want something more from you or they think you're off that. Like you said, they don't taking you seriously and they don't take you seriously until you come out that booth. So it's like that's when they like respect you a little bit more, just because you are a female, and that's how it goes. Like, you really have to boss up and be a boss and handle your business.
And the thing about that is, it's just like, you have to be a boss, but it's also like when you're a female and you're a boss, everyone calls you a bitch. Like, when you demand your respect for your time or for your music or for, you know, just anything, you're a bitch. And I'm just like, I'll take that. Because when it comes down to me wasting my time, I'm not only like, I'm not under management. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I've done from the time that I started to the time that I've been here, I've done on my own. Like, of course, I have my big bro M. Dot that helped me a little bit, but it's really not. It's really me by myself. I'm paying for my studio sessions. I'm getting my graphic work done. I'm putting in the, you know, paying for my beats. When I first started doing shows, I'm paying to get on shows. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to put myself in a position that I am now. So it's kind of like, I've got myself here. I'm not going to let anybody belittle what I've done or anybody disrespect what I've done. And if I have to be a bitch because of that, then that's just what it is.
Man,
what's that?
Amazing.
Period.
Big facts. Shit, man. I was gonna go on. How do you deal with negativity that does come your way? Because I feel like every artist is gonna feel some sort of resistance at some point. How do you deal with that nowadays?
I like talking shit, to be honest, because I feel like once I start talking shit or even just through music, like once I start rapping, nobody ever really wants to respond. Okay. Nobody ever really has anything to say after that. I've kind of gotten to the point where nobody really tries it anymore, because they know how I am and they know how I'll react. It's kind of just like, I'm one of those people that like, yeah, I'm an artist, yeah, I'm a role model and all that stuff, but I'm a human and I'm a person, and you don't get to disrespect me. So either we're gonna settle this through music or we're gonna settle it another way. So you let me know. And usually 9 times out of 10 it runs dry before it even gets to the point. But I don't really get a lot of hate. I get a lot of love from my city, and that's one thing that I can say for sure. It's you know, there's every once in a while those couple of people who wanna, you know, dibble and dabble and see if you still got your spark. But 9 times out of 10, it's I'm super loved.
If you still got your spark,
yeah, because I've chilled a lot. So just now, me being older and, you know, getting my priorities together, I think people try to test me a little bit sometimes, but it's not a good idea.
So, not fucking with Camryn lyrically. Would you say that? Nobody's fucking with you lyrically. Could you say that shit?
I could say that.
There you go.
And anybody who has anything else to say about it, we can, you know. I always say, I got $1,000 on me right now. If you want to battle, we can battle. Anytime, any place, let me know.
That's okay.
I always say I got $1,000 on me, so.
Well, y'all heard it here.
Live and direct, man.
Like that.
A rack.
Yep. Okay. And I'm looking into getting into battle rap, and I just was speaking to some people about it. I'm thinking about kind of dipping in that water and seeing what it's about. I've been watching Queen of the Ring and a couple different battle rap things on YouTube, just trying to see what it's about. And I think I'm gonna take a swing in that, just to give me something more to be excited about.
Do we have shit like that out
we
here
do
anymore?
And I just found out about it. Wow. We have a couple different battle rap leagues out here, and so I'm trying to pick which one I want to.
The thing is you would never know that.
Can you name drop them?
Nope. Can I what?
Name drop them.
I can't. I don't even know that. Like, I literally, so I did an interview. I did an interview 2 weeks ago with Man Listen, and they were telling me about it in the interview. And so I've been trying to connect with different people. I know there's one that's based out of Tacoma. There's one that's based out of Seattle, and then there's one that's a Puget Sound one. So it's like a couple different artists from like all over the Puget Sound. But they've gone to like New York and did the big events out there and stuff like that. So it's actually it's they're real leagues, and they really do battle raps. I know I don't know if you guys know who Stewie Newton is.
Nope.
I heard that name,
yeah. Yeah, he's one of the battle rappers on one of the teams, and he's like dope.
Crazy.
He's crazy.
I've heard that name before.
Yeah,
that'll just like make all of your skills and what you have, collected throughout these years just that much better, because you're getting put to the test at all times.
Yep.
And you have to come off the dome.
You gotta be ready.
Times.
Yeah, I think you'd flourish in that environment. For sure. That shit's crazy. So you got an upcoming project coming up?
I do. It's called Chano El Chapo.
Chano El Chapo. Yeah, that's a crazy name.
Thank you.
How many tracks on that joint?
There is 11.
Any features?
Yes, I got a feature by. Let me see. I'm trying to think about them in my head. So, I got a feature by my cousin Glizzy. She's from here, but she moved to South Carolina when we were in like the 8th grade. But she's like got a lot of buzz out there. Mafi D, Street Ball Soup, Tana Money, and I'm trying to get Camryn Mac on a track, but I'm waiting for him to drop this feature. But yeah, I only got a couple. It's not too much. It's been the first mixtape, like the first debut mixtape that I'm dropping on like all platforms that I've dropped in a while.
Okay.
The last mixtape I dropped last year while I was on tour, and it's called Talk My Shit. But I think this one's gonna be the one that I'm gonna really market and push.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
Producer wise, what you got on that shit?
So I got Ruel, I got Teak Punch, I got who else?
These all local guys?
No. Teak's local. I got Mike D, he's from Chicago. I got who else? DJ K-Fi, he's local. And most of their tracks on there are from Ruel. So he's from North Carolina, I think.
So I feel the vibes you come up with.
But yeah, but it's my album is definitely, it has a Detroit sound to it.
Okay.
I'm definitely going like that in that lane. I feel like I vibe with that the most, and I'm kind of putting my my West Coast twist on it for sure. But yeah, I'm excited for everybody to hear it. It's something I've been working on for a minute, and I think the product and the final thing is gonna be something that everybody's been waiting for me.
So besides that project, I know you just teamed up with Lily.
Yes.
Let me hear about the dynamics.
So me and Lily have been talking for a minute about management and just kind of her being one of those people that's in my team and in my circle. She has a lot of connects, and I look at her like one of my big sisters. So we're definitely looking towards putting her in a management position with me. We're still working out the kinks, so nothing's final yet. But that's definitely
when you say
like
me and
Lily.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're looking for. She's trying to be my manager. We're trying to put that in the works, but she got so many other things going on. We're trying to just make it so that we can get it all hashed out, get the contracts done, and finish it off.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in the CD, the Central area. East Union is my hood. I grew up in the CD of Seattle.
Okay.
Like, what artists inspire you, like, when you're growing up, like, to be, like, the artist you become today, you feel like?
So when I was growing up, I didn't listen to hip-hop at all. I listened to, like, a lot of R&B, a lot of jazz, and a lot of gospel music.
Okay.
But if I had to pick, like, some hip-hop inspirations that I had just like as I got older, I would definitely say Nipsey. I was listening to him when I was in like the 8th grade. I would definitely say Eminem. Just lyrically, he's like crazy. Jay-Z, and then who I feel like I'm missing somebody. I'm gonna say those 3 for hip hop, and then as far as just like music in general, I listen to a lot of Brandy. I listen to a lot of Anita Baker. I listen to, because I sing too. That's something that you guys are gonna get a little drift of soon. I'm working on an EP, a R&B EP. But a lot of Anita Baker, a lot of Brandy, a lot of Whitney Houston. And my house was very soulful. I grew up in church, so I always sang. I always was very into music. My family, all of my family on both sides does music, plays instruments. I can play 3 instruments, 3 to 5 instruments by ear. So yeah.
So music is your life.
Yeah.
100%. And you're going all the way with this shit. This is like all or nothing at this point.
I'm hoping so. I'm in medical school right now, so that's something on the side. But I'm hoping so.
What if both pops? What are you doing? What are you gonna do?
You know, I don't
Just
know.
speaking into existence. Let's just say it does happen. What you gonna do? You thought about that?
If it happens, I'll definitely still want to finish school, just because you never know where life could lead you, and if anything were to happen, that's something to always fall back on.
Yeah.
True.
But if the music does happen, I definitely want to have my own record label, and I want to sign at-risk youth who are in, you know, just urban communities that are struggling and have a dream and aspire to be where I am, because I know that in my community there wasn't a lot of people that gave us that, you know, that hand and gave us the motivation and gave us, you know, kind of like the guide and the plan to get to where you need to go. And yeah, I think that's as far as it is. You know, of course I want the awards, the Grammys, the all that stuff, but you know, it's kind of just so like I can make sure I'm straight, my family's straight, and then just so the world can hear how I feel. That's how I write. I write how I feel and what I'm going through. So I just want the world to be able to kind of
connect.
Yeah, kind of connect with me on that.
Okay. I feel like that's the real hip hop path. That's the shit I was just talking about, man. Yeah. I feel like that's what it is. And those people that go like are really dedicated like that, that's just where you're talking about automatically top tier. You can't put them anywhere else because like you can't deny what they've done up to the point. So it's like how they say, like, before you even get that big break, it's like you already have like 10 some odd years of really grinding. And those are the people that have the longevity because you already know what the fuck is going on. Yeah. It's like you can't finesse me. I've been finessed at the lowest level and the medium, whatever. I've already kind of seen this before. So now you just got a little more money. But I know what the fuck you're doing though. Right. So you're more. I feel like you definitely know what you're doing.
Sharp.
Very sharp. Exactly.
Thank you.
That's dope as fuck though. We need more artists like this. We got. I don't know, man. She's setting the standard right now. How motherfuckers need to be.
So y'all know who to support.
That's the blueprint, man. And believe in yourself, man. Shit.
What's your favorite thing about Seattle?
Definitely the views. And the weather. I love that being on tour for 60 days and going through almost every
climate.
I'm glad that we have every single season here. There's some states that are like so hot, and then there's some states that are so cold. I'm glad we kind of get a gist of both. And it's never too hot, never too cold. We kind of get just like that basic, regular. Right. You know, it rains, but when you're from Seattle, you learn to love the rain. So, definitely the food and the views is my favorite thing.
Fucking with the seafood or not?
I fuck with the seafood.
What's the crabs or we got the?
I love everything.
Lobsters,
I love crab, lobster, shrimp, everything.
Scrimps?
Yeah. My girl is Asian, so she's been putting me on to a lot of different like seafood things.
You do the eel and all that shit?
I don't do all that. I don't do all that.
How about the raw oysters? You fuck with those?
I don't do all that either.
I'll do some
clams. Yeah, I'll do clams
sauce.
with some melted butter.
Wine sauce.
Yeah, you really eating that shit. Really loving it too.
But yeah, I love the seafood. It's super, super fresh out here. But definitely the views. Seattle has like the most amazing views.
No viaduct though, man. Y'all fucked up for that one.
Yeah.
Viaduct was a really big loss for the town.
Yeah,
man.
It was.
Bro, that tunnel is really just sad. You're just driving through and there's no exit and shit. You guys really didn't figure that out because what if you crash? I don't even want to say that shit.
Look,
anyways,
we
good. We straight.
It's not what we're gonna think into existence.
Yeah, man, we ain't gonna speak nothing into existence.
You done said it.
I didn't finish shit and I already, we're good. We're Gucci.
So you went on tour. What was like your most memorable moment? Your most favorite like moment? Could be a moment of like realization. It don't even matter.
I mean, honestly, tour is kind of like repetitive. It's kind of like day in, day out, you're doing the same thing. I would say the most memorable cities for me were definitely Washington, D.C. and Houston. Washington, D.C. just because we were at the Howard Theater and there was like so many people. It was like a whole different culture. I went to I seen the Pentagon. I went to they have like the Pentagon Mall and I paid like $100 to get my nails done. And they were like the most basic nails ever. I was pissed. But it's just like the culture there is super different. And Washington, D.C. is like super, super like hood. Like they have like real life ghettos and like projects.
So weird.
So it was kind of weird, but kind of like funny to see the different in culture there. And then Houston was my favorite just because, of course, the food. They have bomb-ass food in Houston. I went to the college. I went to TSU while I was there, and I just loved all the college students there. They were showing me hella love. I did a couple radio interviews out there, and then Houston was our biggest show. So we sold out the entire arena, and I think it was 25,000 people. So that was like the biggest show that I ever did.
That's crazy.
I had gotten sick and lost my voice like 2 days before, so I wasn't even supposed to perform that night. And I was like, fuck it, I gotta do it. And I didn't know what was gonna happen up there. I didn't know if my voice was gonna crack or anything, but it turned out good, and the show was great, and then we went to strip club. And
You made it work.
So Houston was definitely
in Houston.
Yeah, definitely Houston was my favorite city on a tour.
That's what's up. I'm leaving. I land on the 15th.
Oh yeah. And Papa Do's was my spot. I'm like, I wish they had one here.
El Pollo Loco down there is like magnificent.
And then they got the what is it? They got the it's like a chicken and
waffles place?
No, it's like soul food and Mexican food put together.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That
but it's one
crazy.
restaurant.
Sound like Sunday dinner. At
It's
my
one
house.
it's one restaurant.
That
I think
exists.
it's called like
That's crazy.
it's called like I forget, but it's like green and red. But I remember going
Soul
there.
food and Mexican
Yeah,
food
it's
mixed
soul
together?
food and Mexican food mixed together, and they sell slushy margaritas.
Oh hell no.
Did you ever taste Brums while you were out there?
No.
Taste what?
Brums. Brums. It's the best ice cream you will ever
No Seattle
have.
motherfucker.
Like, I love
anything
food.
about that shit.
Right.
We know about.
But
What do we know about
Brums-
out here? What do we even fucking have out here? Where do we go to eat ice cream?
Dick's.
Cold Stone.
Cold Stone, I guess. What's that new spot? You guys be in Ballard ever?
Baskin and Robbins. Ballard.
God, bro.
You be in Ballard?
Ballard got some low key shit. Like you can't be in Capitol Hill all the time because Capitol Hill just be too crazy.
Well, I mean, I be in Fed all the time.
I must
Okay,
say,
yeah.
I don't go north unless I
Right.
have
I'm like,
to.
everything's right on 320th.
I guess so.
Literally, there's like
Brums.
100,000 stores. Like anything that you need is
Anything
on
that you need.
320.
You need a
Okay,
hospital,
yeah.
you need a doctor's office,
Literally.
you need a library,
Walmart,
you need
you
a
got
school,
Target.
Walmart, Target, a mall,
Italian,
everything.
Mexican.
You got Red Lobster, buy McDonald's, buy Starbucks.
Red Lobster went
Literally.
downhill, man.
I love it though
Hella
because I have
bad.
so many options. It's not like, what do I want to eat tonight? It's like, okay, I'm going here, and then
Right.
tomorrow I'm gonna go
As
there.
opposed to when I lived in Seattle and I was like, okay, Wendy's, Burger King, or Taco Time.
I'm
Which
like,
one?
Grubhub.
Shit.
Yeah. that's
Taco
true.
Time getting
Who's
expensive
gonna
as fuck now. $8-10 for a meal now. What the hell's going
That's
on?
why you gotta
Little
get the mini
crispy
meal.
For a
tacos.
taco?
You gotta get the mini meal.
Crispy
The
tacos,
mini meal.
yum.
I'm passing. I'm going to Chaco's Chukis. Shout
Them
out Tacos
things be
Chukis,
lame.
man. I'm fucking with them.
Is that West Center?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, West Seattle, wherever the fuck it is. Anyways, I wanted to ask, what do you think at this point is like your biggest accomplishment to you that you feel very satisfied that you've accomplished just from you hustling in music?
Biggest accomplishment.
Like a sentimental thing. It doesn't have to be as far as other people's standards.
So I did a this was a while back. I did a workshop with MC Light. She came to Seattle, and she was at the EMP, and there was a writer's workshop, and it was like her and a couple different other like top names, but definitely her. That's the one that I looked at specifically. And it was a writer's competition, and I
Damn.
won the writer's competition.
Okay.
Whoa.
And I got recognized by MC Light, so that was
That
like
is
one of
dope
my
as
biggest
fuck.
accomplishments, just because she's she's a
She's a legend.
she's a legend,
Yeah.
and it's kind of just like there was like over 300 kids there.
Mhm.
Wow.
I was like fresh 16, I think. So just to get that kind of recognition was kind of crazy to me from her. I've gotten
Period.
Those
Yeah.
are signs,
That's
man.
incredible.
Yeah.
You know you
Those are
really
signs
get
that
them
you
all.
just,
Yeah.
you got to keep going.
Yeah.
Look
You
back-
know?
look
And
back
then
how you
definitely
feel.
the tour. That was definitely like one of my biggest accomplishments, because being an artist, and me personally, like I've never been away from home for so long. So me actually being able to like stick that out and kind of go through the motions of it, and I was like very, very depressed like the first 2 weeks, because I was like, I want to go home. Like I want my mom. I don't want to
Homesick.
be
Sleep in
here.
my bed.
I had quit my job, so I was like stressed out about what life was gonna be like when I got back home.
Shit.
And just getting through that process was really a big accomplishment for me, and it kind of made it easier for me to be like, hey, okay, this is like I know for sure that this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm built for. So that was like a big milestone for me.
Okay. What did it take? Like when you were thinking about quitting the job, like what was going through your head with that? Like that must be a big decision. Like I'm about to quit my job to do this.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't really, like, I thought about it, but I didn't really think about it. Like, my brother just called me one day and was like, hey, I need you to quit your job because we're about to go on tour. And I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, yeah, quit your job. Tell him that you're about to quit. And I'm like, okay.
Damn.
So I talked to my manager and I'm like, hey, I guess I'm going on tour for 60 days. Can I, take a leave of absence? And I wasn't able to take a leave of absence because they're only for 30 days. So I had to resign and then get rehired when I came back. So he was like, yeah. But then I came home and I had to go to a different store and just a lot of crazy stuff.
Extra
but
shit.
Yeah, but it was all worth it in the end. I just kind of thought about it's either now or never. I didn't know what was going to happen on the tour. I didn't know if I was going to come home with the record deal. I didn't know if I was going to come home with, thousands of followers. I didn't know what the thing was. But I think all in all, what I got out of it was just like I learned kind of what it's like to be on tour. So I kind of learned the ins and the outs of it. So I feel like next time I go on tour, I'll be a little bit more prepared. I think I was kind of just like thrown with the sharks with that one and just kind of winged it.
That's what it takes to get uncomfortable. You got to get uncomfortable.
Yeah. But it was cool overall, and it was a dope-ass experience.
Okay. That's what's up.
I just got one more question for you. So there's other artists, like up-and-coming artists that, maybe don't want to, like, pursue their dreams as far as, like, being a female rapper. What would you say to them on how to, like, jumpstart what they're trying to do?
I think, honestly, my biggest advice to anyone trying to get into the industry or get into the business or get into, just opening up and spilling out what they feel, just go for it. It could even be something as little as going to, like, open mics. That's where I started off. I started off going to open mics at UW, and I was like the youngest person there every time, but I used to come every single week just to get my stage, appearance up, to get my motor. I would literally have someone record me on stage and I would be like, okay, next time I need to do this or next time I need to do that, and kind of just put myself in a space to where I'm not in front of too many people. I've never been a nervous person, but for people who are nervous or have anxiety about getting on stage, it's definitely like put yourself in a space where there's not too many people, even if it's your friends, your family. Just kind of get in front of them and have someone record you. And you look at yourself back and see what you could do better. And it's kind of just like, just do that until you get, your rhythm and get into your emotions. And then once you feel like you've advanced from stage 1, then you go to stage 2 and you just climb, kind of like you just keep climbing the ladder until you get there. It's kind of like you can't tell anyone when they're ready, but when you're ready, you'll know that you're ready. Right. So it's kind of like just keep writing, I definitely would say keep writing, because writer's block is a bitch if you don't write for too long. Oh yeah. Definitely keep writing. Don't stay on one song for too long. That's what I had bad. If you stay on one song for too long, you'll get like distracted, or you'll get, blurred vision. So I would definitely say kind of just stay fresh, stay ready to go on to the next thing, stay working, stay motivated, and just stay putting yourself in front of people, because people want to see you. Like, if they have to put a face to the music. And even if it's just like networking, going to shows, even if you're not on the show, go to the shows and meet the other artists, network, collaborate, do songs with other people before you put out your own music, just so your name has a little bit of buzz, or people can, search you up on YouTube or search you up on Google or SoundCloud. Kind of just get your name out there, and then make quality. Don't put out anything that's not quality, because if you put out initially stuff that's low quality or stuff that's trash, people aren't going to want to listen to you when you get better. It's kind of like keep stuff in your files and just keep stuff to yourself, and then when you're ready to drop, then drop.
That's great advice right there. Anybody watching, real dope.
Very solid. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, it's been episode 8 of the Hip Hop Seattle podcast. Calnati,
Beside Definition, Henny Hunter K,
Lil Honey Dippin',
Cammy Tuco, Camryn Chanel, tapped in like a motherfucker.
Let's get it. Hip Hop Seattle.
100 sticks on 100 sticks. Who you fucking with? That shit you claim. You don't even bang. What the fuck is this? You bitches whack. All you bitches weird. I go and sort of pack. So if I lose it, I ain't even tripping. I'ma get it back, bitch. Hey, you a little bum. You can't give me brain. And my bitches with it. You can catch a spade. My bitch got good pussy. Tastes like lemonade. And I ain't even gotta say it. Bitch, you know my name. I'm a rich bitch. And you a broke bitch. You talking about them poles. But you know that you won't smoke shit. I ride around my city with no stick, bitch, and no tin. My chain say my name, bitch, in case you didn't know this. You ain't tough, bitches talk big, but you ain't much. Real skinny, looking for a penny. You ain't 8 months. You ain't ain't tough, bitches talk big, but you ain't much. Real skinny, looking for a penny, you ain't ate much. You ain't tough, bitches talk big, but you ain't much. Real skinny, looking for a penny, you ain't fuck all much. You bitches, I'm gon' get to this bag. Yo, bitch tryna fuck, so I